This is Sharpening 310424. I'm going to evaluate these shears for the International Scissor Sharpeners Association. And this one is a first because this person has only been doing beauty shears for a few weeks, as he said. He wrote a nice, interesting letter. Kind of lets you see people's journey into getting into shear sharpening for the hair salons. And I'll read you the letter and we'll look at the shears and see how good can someone do beauty shear sharpening and just sharpening a couple of weeks and basically self-taught. I've had a lot of problems with my sound with my little video camera, and part of it today, what you're hearing is the first time I talk in the morning is usually on this camera, so I have no idea how my voice is coming out, and I'm kind of croaky today. Drink some of my seltzer water. Maybe that'll help weten my throat. I get in here early to do these before the phone starts ringing, but I usually end up with some interruption. Before I start on these shears, I'd like to read this letter. So he says, Bonnie, thank you for taking the time to do this evaluation. A little background, and I thought you would enjoy hearing his journey. I work as a dental technician for 40 years, and several years ago the company was going through a downhill. I was laid off, and so I started a carpentry handyman business. A lot of people do that. Just a few months ago, a client contacted me and said, do I sharpen knives? And I said, well, I sharpen my own, but not for anybody else. And since I always go the extra mile for my customers, I decided I'd try to help find someone to help her. And when I started searching for sharpeners, there weren't any. So I started my second business, I won't give its name, sharpening service. And as soon as I started the business, I was asked if I could do clipper blades. So I started doing clipper blades. And then I was asked to do grooming and stylist shears, and that's what led me to ordering a flat hone, and he started learning to do that. I have two main reasons for taking this certification. I mentioned this before. Even though I've only been doing this a few weeks, the first reason is that on one of my SSA evaluation videos, I looked at the camera and I said, can you pass? And he said, that seemed like a challenge, and I've never been one to walk away from a challenge, so here I am. And the second more important reason is I'd like to see where my skills are at this point. I think that's important. I've done a tremendous amount of study and watched tons of YouTube videos and have even spent time talking to Jim O'Donnell. Highly recommend that. Jim's great for training and helping people through sharpening, the curve of learning to sharpen. Seems that the more I learn, the more I realize how little I know. Same here. I'm looking at this as a step in my education process. I know you will give me honest feedback and show me where I need improvement. Be as hard on me as you want because I want to learn and I need to know where I'm at and what steps I need to take to get to the next level. Well, with that attitude, I have a feeling he's going to pass. Let's see. For those of you that aren't familiar with my channel or my ISSA certification, the International Scissor Sharpeners Association, about half of them are from other countries, the United States. It's a minimum level skills. It's not like the other certifications with the IBSA or the NBTSG or whatever. I just want to see, will they cut hair? Are all the nicks gone? Is the convex a convex? Is the bevel a bevel? Will a stylist be reasonably pleased with the sharpening? And then you can pass. And I'll sometimes say, hey, you passed, but with a D. Or this is really, really great. Or you would have passed if you'd done this little thing. So it's a learning process to send these in. More so than even evaluation, because I take evaluating these quickly and seriously. I have a very hectic schedule this week. Unbelievable. But I got here early so that I could give him some feedback as soon as possible. So here goes. Alright, so first I do is I get out my beautiful toilet tissue, the really cheap kind, the one that you can see through, the ones that you really would not want to use on your body. So I'm going to pull these out. Alright, so taking my tissue, dry tissue at first, pulling my thumb out, slow, least pressure possible. Cut nice. Same thing with these. Slow. No. Beveled edge does not cut the dry. I have an idea why. I'll tell you in a minute. If you think you know at this point, go ahead and put it in the comments. You can say at what point in the video did you figure out why this is not cutting. Now, if it doesn't cut dry, I'm sure it's not going to cut wet. And it doesn't, not at all. Let's see how the convex edge cuts wet. I told you I'd be interrupted. Now, one other thing I bet you didn't know, Wendell, when you refer someone to me to buy a Simek machine, you get a $300 finder fee.
Yeah, y'all done that for me a couple of times.
Mm-hmm. What he gets with the machine is he's going to get 2 convexing plates, 2 flat plates, 21 abrasives, 2 flat plates, 2 convexing plates, 2 flat plates, the felt, and then the light that goes on the side. It's a magnetic light. No, the stone is not included, so that's going to be extra. If you look on the website, there's a thing called Simek Essentials, and that's all the things that we normally give to people if they come here and pay me for training, and they would be the additional things that you would need to buy if you're doing the training. And you know about my new book. Yeah, that might be real helpful to them, because it's got a lot of little tricks and list of things, supplies he might need to have, and just some, just a lot of general information. Oh yeah, well, tell him I'll be glad to have him as part of our Bonika family, and if he has our machine and everything, that makes him a warranty center, because I know you're going to do a good job training him if you've been doing this a while. Okay, I'm back after all these interruptions. Where was I? No, I want to cutting this wet. That's where I am. Interruption. Good interruptions. I don't mind. So I've wet my tissue. I'm going to pull my thumb out. Nope. Doesn't cut wet. It does a little bit. Pulls a little bit at the tip. Well, sometimes it cuts, sometimes it doesn't. I think both of these have the same problem. Loose screw. Well, it feels about the right adjustment. But if you wiggle it, I think I would do it 1 click more. That was just 1 click. Teensy click. Let's see how it cuts. It still pulls a little bit at the tip. Just a little at the tip. You see that? I think this one is too loose too. This one needs to be all the way tight. Well, let's cut hair before I start adjusting these. So, someone asked me just yesterday about whether you're supposed to spread out the hair when you're testing it. And if you've got the little strips, you want to spread it out. If I'm working with a mannequin, it's just automatically spread out. So I'm cutting. This cuts hair okay. Let's see how this one cuts hair. That cuts okay. Both of them cut hair all right. They may have, well, I did tighten that one notch there too. I think this one, the biggest problem is it's too loose. You see it's plastic handles, so they need to be adjusted tighter. Even, I think just about there. Still's not cutting. But it cut hair, didn't it? See? Oh, did you see it pull? It pulls. Alright, so this one definitely didn't pass. This one, I think you could do it better. Okay, so I'm seeing something right now. Let me see if I can let you see this with me. See if you can see this stuff with me. See, you still see the bevel there. What I was wanting him to do is to take out that little semi-convex. And there's something the light's reflecting off of. You see right there? Not sure if he didn't get to the edge or if that's a nick left behind. I'm going to run my fingernail down here. A little bit of a nick there. Oh, big nick left there. So he's left some nicks behind. This feels pretty rough back there. No nicks on that side. And that's why it cut as good as it did, was because the nicks are only on one blade. But I think he could shape it as a true convex. Do a little bit better with that. Let's see what's going on with this one. Okay, he left the serrated side alone, which is okay. So right here, I don't know if you can see the light change there. But there's, it's like the angles have changed. And if I run my nail down there, it feels rough, 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 then it feels smooth. And I think that's where it was grabbing and pulling the hair. But it's like it's two different angles. And maybe he didn't even get to the edge right here. So there's something, oh, here's one of the problems. Look at this on the inside. I didn't even look at the inside. Look at this. He tried to take it apart and work a ride line on this shear. This shear, that's what's wrong with it. He should have just created a burr, cut the burr off, kept it simple. He's tried to do too much work on here. Did he do it on the other? Oh yeah, he did on the other side. So these, nothing should have been done on the inside. That's where the problem is. That's exactly where the problem is. Looking on the outside, and I didn't even think about looking in here. So yeah, these are, I'm thinking I'll probably need to send him a new pair of shears if he wants to resharpen these rather than try to fix these. Don't know if these are fixable after you've done this to the inside. Let's see what the ride line looks like on these. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. Look at that tip. That's where it's pulling, right there at the tip. I don't know what he's doing the ride line with, but you see all the scratches? Maybe he's doing it too relaxed. Let's see what the other side looks like. Now this side doesn't look as bad. But this is a side that's still got nicks in it, and you can even see the nicks in the ride line. But I don't see a ride going up the back. It is only on the one side. I think this one he could fix and improve. This one probably will send, if he wants me to send him back, I might need to just charge him and send him a new one of these to start over from scratch. But I'm not going to pass him because he definitely, I mean, these definitely don't pass. These are close to it, but I'm thinking they might pull the hair a little bit. They're cutting okay. They cut better than I thought they would. Oh, and the center part they are pushing. Let me see if you can see that. See, push, 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 and then it's not pushing off the tip. So he didn't pass, but for only sharpening a few weeks, it's not bad. And I think most stylists would be happy with this shear, not with this one. Less is more when it comes to these little cheap scissors. But when it comes to the convex edge, don't stop sharpening for your customers, because you did a good enough job that they're going to be happy and use you again. But you definitely need to learn some more about doing ride lines and doing a true convex, and getting all the nicks out, making sure you check and see if the nicks are gone. And consistent angle all the way down, because I'm seeing it looks sort of like maybe that tip possibly didn't get a burr, because I'm seeing some light reflecting right on the end. So I think he's off to a good start for a few weeks sharpening. And I've seen some people have been sharpening for years that don't come near this good quality. So I think he's off to a great career. And it's really not that hard to sharpen shears. I do highly suggest, whether it's me or like the person I talked to earlier on the phone, you go to someone for training. That hands-on training is not like just learning off videos or talking to someone on the phone. But with that being said, you can be reasonably successful. You can't really have the best touch without some one-on-one training, in my opinion. And I think as your career progresses and you've been sharpening a while, to get training from other respected sharpeners. I don't believe that only one person has all the answers. Not even me, although they call me Yoda. No, a sign reminds me of someone I was texting yesterday that said they want to get the training before they get the machine to make sure they can do it. Well, do or do not. There is no try. To get training and spend that much money for training and not have the equipment, they come together. It's like a horse and carriage. Love and marriage, like the old song. So if you have any questions, put comments below. I have a website, bonika.com. There's a free information package about getting into the sharpening business. As I mentioned, I have my book on Amazon and on our website. It has a lot of good information, regardless of what machines you're getting or who's training you. This is going to be helpful to you. We have a Sharpeners Jam group on Facebook that you need to join, and because we'll be putting together some things education-wise, some free, some at a charge, on the Sharpeners Jam group. And that's in addition to the International Scissor Sharpeners Association, which is a cool group to be a part of, because we've got all kinds of fun merch, and you have certificates and cards and so forth. So you've been sharpening a while, more than a few weeks, and you think you can pass the International Scissor Sharpeners Association evaluation? Let's see.